Alright, so last one of these little revision videos is just going to look at rounding. So the first thing we're going to do is round to 2 decimal places, all of these numbers. Now remember when we're rounding, and something else to note, so just before we start, is that rounding is not something which is a specific topic in mathematics. Rounding is something that you should be doing intuitively whenever you're doing any kind of question. So whenever you've got a number that has decimal places and you shorten that, you must be rounding every single time. Okay, so if we're rounding to 2 decimal places, what we do is we're going to take this red pen, we're going to put in a line in between the second and the third decimal place. Okay, so after the end of that second decimal point. Now, if the number behind that line is bigger than a 5, then we round up the number before one place. So that becomes 6.29, and that 8 becomes a 9. All right, for the second one, again, we're going to put in the line in between the 3 and the 4, okay, the second and the third decimal point. Now you see that 4 is less than a 5, so we now keep out that 3 the same, okay, and it doesn't change. So we rounded that one down. Last one, again, we're going to put a line in between the second and the third decimal place, and we're going to have 10 point, now this 5, it's really important that whenever you've got a 9, which is the number that you're going to round, if that's rounding up, that's going to become a 10, which means that we're going to end up with a 0 here, and we've got a 1 now that's going to carry through to our next place. Okay, so our number in this case is actually going to be 10.10, okay, because that 5 rounds the 9 up to a 10. So that becomes a 0, and the 10 from the 10 carries through to the next decimal point. Okay, coming down, we're going to round these next ones to the nearest whole number, so no decimal places. So in this case, we're going to put in a line at the decimal point, okay, because that's where our whole number is. And I'm just going to do it for this one as well. There we go. Now, when we're doing this, again, we look at the number behind it, the next number, that's an 8, so it's bigger than a 5. So we round up that 7, that becomes an 8. Okay, and then we have no decimal places because we're rounding to the nearest whole number. Next one, we have 100.98. So again, that 9, the next digit after the line, is bigger than a 5. So that's going to become 101. And again, no decimal places because we're rounding to the nearest whole number. All right, next one, we're going to round to the nearest 100. So we need to find where is our hundreds value. Okay, so here we've got ones, tens, hundreds. Okay, so if we're going to round to the nearest 100, we're going to put a line in between the 100 and the 10. And again, we look at that number in the 10 spot, and we can see that that's only a 1. Okay, so it's less than a 5. So we keep everything else the same, but then these numbers become a 0. So our new number is 786,900. Okay, same thing again for the next one. We have 8,679. So we're going to put another line in between the tens, the hundreds and the tens. And again, that 7 is now bigger than a 5. So we're going to round this 6 up. So we're going to end up with 8,000. That 6 becomes a 7, 700. All right, there's our quick little summary on rounding. Hopefully this helped. Enjoy your revision.